Welcome! This is Dr. Plague, and I have another unboxing to share with you. This time I bought a new oscilloscope. You see, the old oscilloscopes that I have are all 2-channel scopes, and I thought it would be beneficial to finally get us a 4-channel scope to help out with future videos. Now, if you take a look, you might be able to see that this is a Tektronix, but what's inside the box? I'm going to find a way to open it up, and I'll be right back, and we'll take a look at what's in it. So, please, stick around. So now that the box is opened, let's take a look to see what's inside of it. So, we have this here tray full of, accessories. I'll just set that aside for now. And there's the oscilloscope. Let's get this out of the way. And let's just unwrap this thing. So let's take this little sticker off right here. And as you can see, this here is an MDO 3024, which is basically a 4-channel version of the exact same oscilloscope I have up here. This one up here is an MDO 3022. So, we have the exact same scope, but in a 4-channel version. Let's take a look at what all came with it. We have an accessory bag, an N to BNC adapter. This looks like some spare grounding connectors. Passive probe instructions. Just some bubble wrap. This must be the calibration certificate. We have 2 bags of passive probes. Each bag contains 2 probes for a total of 4. We have the instructions and safety manual. Some miscellaneous documentation. The power cord. A bag of color bands for the probes. And finally, a list of compatible probes. And that's it. Let's take a look at the accessory bag. So, it shows here how to install it onto the scope. Nice. Let's take a closer look at one of the bags of passive probes. we have a bunch of smaller bags and the two probes. We have a bag of micro hook tips and universal IC caps, and 4 bags of grounding springs, both long and short ones. The second bag contains the same items, and these color bands will clip onto the probes to help identify them. Let's turn the scope on and take a quick peek at it. It'll take a while to power up. By the way, this is a 200 MHz 4-channel mixed domain scope. Now, I'm sure you're probably wondering how much I paid for this. And I'll tell you, it wasn't cheap. I was lucky because I got it the weekend before the price jumped. I paid $6,480 plus tax. I normally buy my equipment from Test Equipment Depot, but by the time I decided to buy it, they had already increased their price to $7,160. So I looked around and found that Nuark was still selling it for $6,480, so I bought it from them. This is not really in the price range for the normal electronics hobbyist. I'm sure there are some hobbyists out there that have much better scopes than this, but I would recommend something more in the entry-level range. There are some good, cheap scopes out there, such as my other scope that you've normally seen on my channel, the B&K Precision 2190D, although the new version is the 2190E. Rigel also makes some good entry-level scopes. What I like about this scope is that it is mixed domain, meaning that it can display signals in either the time domain or the frequency domain. But unfortunately, this one can't do both at the same time. You would need to jump up to at least the MDO 4000 series for that. Note that this scope is being replaced by the Tektronix 3 Series MDO, which has a touch screen, but I like these older scopes. The frequency domain or spectrum analyzer functionality of this scope is much better than using an FFT, but it only starts at 9 kHz, so not very good for audio. It can go up to 3 GHz if you buy the upgrade, else it maxes out at 200 MHz. So if we turn on the RF section, you'll see the frequency domain. And we can turn on a spectrogram, which lets us see a visual history of the frequencies. It also allows you to scroll through the history if desired. The scope has 4 analog channel inputs here, and these are the traditional front panel controls. It also has a dedicated RF input for the frequency domain right here with the spectro analysis controls above it. It also gives you a 10-digit keypad, which is nice for entering values. And it has several menu buttons alongside a 9-inch screen. The one thing I don't like about this scope is that a lot of the functionality, including protocol analysis, is an upgrade. And you need to pay thousands of dollars to enable many of them. For example, they have a 16-channel logic analyzer built into the scope through this input, but it costs about $2,500 to enable it. In a future video, I'll show you how to make your own cheap, simple 16-channel logic analyzer that outputs a composite TV signal, like this one that I made. They do, however, include a free DVM upgrade after registration. By the way, my cheap B&K scope only takes about 10 seconds to power up, and this Tektronix scope takes almost a full minute. So I'll still use the cheaper scope when I don't need the full functionality of this scope. If we take a look at the back, we have an arbitrary function generator output, which again is an upgrade. It has an auxiliary out, which can send out a trigger signal. It also has a LAN, a video out, and USB ports. And if we look at the side, we have a connector for a ground strap. And that's about it. So now, all that's left to do is to replace the old scope with the new scope. Well, that's it for today. We'll try to make some good use of this new scope in future videos. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time, right here on Dr. Plague.